The next thing I want to talk about is, you know that the earthquakes in Turkey, right?
Not until I clicked on the
Not,
article.
yeah, not until I told you about it. Wow. Okay. Wow. Didn't know about it. Well, see, there's an example. 33,000 people have died in that earthquake and
Hmm.
counting. So it's a big deal. Even, numbers wise, it's a bigger deal than what's happened in Ohio. And I have to admit that I didn't care that much, really. I mean, it's not like I think it's awesome, but I didn't really care. I didn't click on it. I just saw a push notification that says 33,000 people died in Turkey and I just said, "Okay, that's too bad." However, then I started seeing some ads and some news stories about the dogs who lost their owners or who were suffering in this earthquake. And then I felt, "Oh no, that's so terrible." And then I realized, "Hey, wait, dude, you barely even cared when you heard that 33,000 people died. And now that you're seeing a couple stories about some animals being negatively impacted or dying, now you really cared about it. And here's the evidence that I care about it more. I clicked on the link. I actually clicked on it to see what's going on. Well, what's going on with these dogs made homeless in Turkey or killed or their owners
What
died?
about all the animals affected in the Ohio thing?
Oh, I care about them too, but I just didn't see stories about it. Like there was one thing about foxes and whatever, and I
Yeah, the
clicked on it.
foxes. There's a fox that died.
Well, yeah, and I clicked on it. See?
Yeah.
So that shows that I cared more about it. But this brought up interesting option, and I've known this, but are you the type of person who cares more about the animals that are impacted by these things than people? Because I have to admit
I
that I'm one of
yeah.
them. I don't care as much about people. Does that make me a bad person?
But we're also both of us are also not vegans.
That's true.
So
I'm
I
not
don't know how
saying
to
it's not hypocrite. I'm not saying
reconcile.
it's not. I'm not making any assertions. I'm just making the observation.
Yeah. I'm one of those people too, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, this is kind of, is
I
this a
think it's
double
because
standard on my part? What's going on here? And this has happened in other situations too. It's not just this one.
yeah.
I care more about the animals than I care about the people, and it is really tragic. Tons of people have died. Wrap
What
your
if
head
it
around
was like a
33,000
little
is like a
baby?
college campus.
What if they pulled a little baby out of the rubble? Would you care as much?
Yeah, I care more, but I don't know that I would care as much, right?
Hmm.
It's just, I don't know. I wouldn't, I clearly, based on my actions, if you ask me intellectually, I will tell you, well, yeah, human life should be valued more. That's the intellectual answer I would give you. But my actions say otherwise because I don't click on a story when there's just people dying.
Did this earthquake thing was it ever trending on Twitter? That's another place
It
that,
was, it
I
was,
oh
yes.
okay. I probably just missed it then.
I saw it. I just ignored it because the
Okay.
the headline told me everything I needed to know. There's an earthquake and thousands of people died. And I had zero interest in it beyond that. It's not that I didn't care. I just didn't want to know more information.
Yeah.
But when it's animals, I definitely click on it. And I'm just wondering why is that? Do I not like people? Do I not value human life? Is it that I have a theory. I When it comes to animals, we tend to project what we want onto them. So all the positive traits that we see in ourselves or we see in potentially in human beings, we just see all the positive, right? But when it comes to people, we have to contend with the fact that every single person knows people that are just scumbags, right? Like there are people that we hate. There's just people that, suck. And when you hear a person has died, you don't necessarily project all the negative onto them, but it's you think of them as people, and that's a very gray, very messy thing. It's just like people are this and they're that, and they're a whole bunch of things. So I don't have as much empathy for them because I know human beings, and I know that they run the gamut. There's a whole spectrum of human beings. So when you tell me that X amount of human beings have died, I don't think of a bunch of, oh, I just assume they're all innocent people who shouldn't have died. No, I think that a bunch of them are, there's the people I like, but there's also the people I dislike. And there's the people who really, I think, probably should die. And I project all of that and map that onto X amount of people. There's the good and the bad. Whereas with animals, you kind of just project the good, right?
Hmm. I mean, I was definitely, you know, almost tearing up when this dog got rescued. It was,
Right, right. And you can't ignore that fact Like you are reacting emotionally to something. It really uncovers some deep-seated point of view inside of you. I'm not going to say it's bad, but I just found it interesting. Why is it so different? It's not as if I think it's cool when people die. I don't think that at all. But I just do not have the same emotional gut reaction when people are affected by the same exact earthquake, and
Hmm.
it's affected them just as much as it's affected the pets in Turkey, but I just don't have the same reaction.
I don't know.
Why, do they not
Maybe
deserve it?
if we
What?
went through the same thing, maybe we would.
Maybe. I'm not quite sure why that is. And I think the best working theory I have is the one I just said.
Mhm.
It's hard for us to totally empathize with other people, like of this vague, nondescript person, when we know so many bad people or people we dislike, because then we just sort of project the whole range of humanity onto these people who have suffered.
It is maybe it's just a reflection of what somebody's attitude is on humanity. So maybe the more like red or black pilled you are,
That
the
could be
less
it
you
too.
care.
Like if people have a more positive disposition towards humans in general,
Yeah.
they would be much sadder when they encounter, the same stuff. Lots of people have suffered, lots of people have died, no doubt. That's tragic. Sure, absolutely. But I do not have I'll just admit it. I don't have a single emotional reaction to hearing that X amount of people died in Turkey. I don't know if that does that make me cold-hearted or
I don't know.
what?
Like I could definitely think, there are other countries where if the same news was reported, I would definitely care a lot more. So
Oh, like
that's
what?
just I don't know, feel like Japan, let's say.
Oh, so is it just
I
a race thing? You don't care about the Turks?
Yeah, pretty much. No, I'm just saying like, I feel I don't know, maybe it's the way that I, visualize the type of people. I have a
Yeah,
better
maybe. Right. Maybe you just assume better things of those people then, right?
like one thing I'm thinking about is for example, there was explosion or fire that affected one of the main one of the big animation studios in Japan
I remember
a
that. Yeah.
few years ago. I wound up donating money for that.
Hmm.
um, quite a substantial amount of money. And I did feel, I got emotional a little bit over that. There's a element of like closeness, I think, like how close are you to to this group of people?
Yeah, maybe that has something to do with it too. But then how close you are to a group of people, maybe, like I said, that causes you to, project more positive
Yep,
things
yep,
onto them, right? Because you just assume, oh,
yep.
they're the good people or something like that. Or I don't want to say the good people. That sounds really racist, but
Or maybe that you just flesh them out more,
right.
as opposed
So
to just
I don't know what that
numbers.
is. I just don't know what it is, but I just have to admit it. I looked at thousands of people dying in Turkey and I barely reacted. But then I saw, oh yeah, a couple pets were affected. And I'm like, oh no, a couple pets were affected? No, yeah, I'm just being honest. I don't think my reaction is good or necessarily bad. I'm just curious about it.